Imagine you're on a noisy tarmac, standing under a jet engine. No binder, no frantic phone call. You glance up and step-by-step instructions hover right where you're looking. A gentle highlight traces the exact cable to check. A warning flashes when your hand nears a hot surface. You fix the issue. First try. That's not sci-fi anymore. In 2026, extended reality, AR, VR, and mixed reality has quietly moved from cool demo to daily tool in a lot of workplaces. The conversation isn't, is it ready? It's, where does it deliver real value? So let's slow that down for a second. Why does this matter? Because when a technology stops living in lab pilots and starts plugging into your actual systems, your training platform, your asset database, your analytics, that's when it starts changing outcomes. Fewer errors, faster ramp-ups, safer work, quick orientation, extended reality, or XR, is the umbrella. Augmented reality overlays digital hints on the real world. Think annotations floating over a machine. Virtual reality puts you in a fully digital environment, great for simulations. Mixed reality blends both, so digital objects feel anchored to your space and respond as you move. In other words, AR adds to your view, VR replaces it, and MR mixes them. That's enough for now. Here's what actually changed in early 2026. It wasn't a single blockbuster headset. It was integration. XR experiences now connect into the same enterprise plumbing you already use. Training sessions sync to your LMS, the learning management system, so completions and competencies show up on your dashboard. Maintenance steps in AR tie back to asset platforms and digital twins. That's a live digital model of a physical thing. So work done in the field updates the record in real time. Usage analytics feed your BI tools. It's XR as part of the stack, not a silo on the side. Let that sink in for a second. The value isn't only in the headset, it's in the data trail it leaves behind. Now, how are companies actually using this? On the front line, AR glasses are becoming the daily driver. They're lighter than full VR headsets and let you keep situational awareness. A technician can see a torque value floating next to a bolt. A warehouse picker can follow a glowing path to the right shelf, hands-free. A remote expert can draw a circle in your field of view and say, check this gasket. Hardware names worth knowing here. Microsoft's HoloLens 2 still shows up in a lot of B2B deployments. Vuzix is expanding smart glasses designed for frontline work. The point isn't one brand winning today. It's that form factors have matured enough to wear for hours without feeling like a science experiment. VR, on the other hand, shines in training, especially high-risk, high-cost, or rare scenarios. You can rehearse a hazardous procedure without touching a real valve. You can run through emergency drills without shutting down a facility. You can fail safely, learn, and repeat. One device making noise in enterprises is Pico's line focused on training and device management. Again, brand details change. The use case sticks. VR compresses learning curves because the brain remembers doing, not just reading. Mixed reality lands in collaboration. Imagine a design review where everyone, whether they're on-site or remote, sees the same 3D model anchored to a table. You point, you slice a cross-section, you walk around the model. It's like having the product in the room weeks before it exists. So what's the practical impact? A few concrete examples help. Boeing has shared that AR for wiring harness assembly reduced errors in complex builds. GE and others have reported faster task times in warehouses. One program saw roughly a 46% improvement in picking speed, and around 1/3 gains in productivity in their context. Your mileage will vary, but the theme holds. Fewer context switches, clearer instructions, less rework. Let's slow that down. It's not that glasses magically make people better, it's that they remove friction. No more glancing between a paper manual and a machine. No more guessing which bolt is bolt 3B. No more waiting on a specialist to fly in. There's also a data dividend. When your VR training feeds into your learning system, managers can see who's competent on a specific procedure before they hit the floor. When your AR work order marks a step as complete, the asset's digital twin updates, so maintenance isn't just done, it's documented. In other words, XR moves knowledge from in someone's head to in your systems. That's a big deal. Now a quick reality check. This shift in 2026 isn't powered by hype. It's powered by boring, necessary integrations and incremental hardware improvements. Smaller, lighter, better battery life. More secure device management. APIs that let XR apps talk to your stack. That's what's making teams comfortable rolling this out beyond pilots. Who benefits the most right now? Frontline workers get hands-free guidance and remote help. Safety and L&D teams get consistent training with measurable outcomes. Operations leaders get fewer errors and better traceability. Distributed teams get spatial collaboration instead of 2D slides on a screen. If you work in manufacturing, aviation, healthcare, energy, logistics, this probably already resonates. If you're in knowledge work, think design reviews, facilities planning, or complex troubleshooting without travel. Here's where people get surprised. AR is pulling ahead for daily, all-day use. VR still wins for immersive training. Mixed reality sits in the middle for collaborative design and field service. You don't pick XR, you match the problem to the modality. Let's talk about the guardrails. Because every wave of tech has them. Comfort matters. Headsets have gotten lighter, but wearing anything on your face all day can cause fatigue. AR glasses help here, but you still need breaks and good fit. Integration isn't trivial. Connecting training records, asset data, identity, and analytics takes real work. Treat this like any enterprise rollout. Involve IT early, set governance, build change management. Costs are coming down, but budget isn't just devices. It's content development, the 3D procedures, the training scenarios, the step-by-step overlays, and the internal champions who will keep it fresh. Privacy and trust are huge. A camera on someone's face changes the dynamic at work. Clear policies, visible indicators when recording, and strong data controls go a long way. And consumer devices? Smart glasses like Meta Ray-Ban are interesting, and you'll see experiments. Their enterprise role is still taking shape. For now, dedicated enterprise hardware tends to fit better with rugged workflows and IT requirements. Let's add a quick digest. The key thing here is that XR's big 2026 shift is less about a shiny new gadget and more about XR becoming part of how work gets tracked, trained, and verified. The benefits show up when XR plugs into your systems and your culture, not when it sits in a demo room. What about the road ahead? A few signals to watch. AR will likely keep outpacing VR for everyday tasks. It's lighter, and you can see your environment. AI will quietly boost XR. Think voice-driven step guidance, automatic step verification through computer vision, and on-the-spot translations for global teams. Industry clouds will package more of this. Your vendor won't just sell a headset. They'll bundle training content, templates, and integrations for your sector. If that sounds abstract, here's a simple analogy. We're moving from BYO headset and custom app to App Store for Work, where certified procedures, content packs, and connectors come ready to plug in. Not prescribed, just easier. All right, if you're exploring this space, here are a few practical takeaways. Start with one painful workflow. A recurring maintenance task with frequent errors, a safety procedure you train on every month, a high-stakes onboarding process. Pick something narrow and measurable. Match the tool to the job. AR for hands-on guidance. VR for immersive practice. MR for shared 3D reviews. You don't need all three on day one. Plan for integration from the start. Even a lightweight link from your VR training to your LMS pays off. If it's AR maintenance, map fields to your asset system. Think data in, data out. Budget for content. The headset is the vehicle. The procedures, models, and scenarios are the fuel. Decide what you'll build versus buy. Build trust on the floor. Be clear about when cameras record and why. Offer opt-in pilots. Train supervisors first so they can coach, not just enforce. Measure the small wins. Time per task. First-time fix rate. Error counts. Incident near misses. You don't need perfect attribution to see directionally if it's helping. Keep devices boring to manage. Fleet management, updates, identity, and policies should sit with IT like any other endpoint. If this applies to your work, what stands out is that XR is shifting from innovation project to operational tool. That mental model changes how you budget and who you involve. Let's tie a bow on the why now. Early January 2026 wasn't about fireworks, it was about signals. XR systems connecting to your learning platforms, asset tools, and analytics. AR glasses getting comfortable enough for shifts. VR deployments getting easier to manage at scale. And leadership conversations moving from possibility to placement. Not should we, but where does it reduce friction? In other words, XR graduated. It didn't invent the future overnight, it showed up for work. One last note on expectations. Analyst forecasts for the XR market are all over the map. Big numbers, fast curves. Helpful directionally, but what will really move the needle for your org is solving one tangible problem, proving value, and expanding pragmatically. Fancy slides won't fix a broken process. Clear use cases will. If you're already piloting, a few things to think about. Can your pilot data flow into systems leaders already use? Are you designing for the person wearing the device, not for a trade show audience? And do you have a plan for who updates content when procedures change? Those small questions often make or break the rollout. And if you're skeptical, that's fair. Try a test with a control group. Let people opt in. Give it 2 weeks. You'll know quickly if it helps or if it's just adding steps. Here's the bottom line. Extended reality isn't the center of your business. But in 2026, it's becoming part of the fabric. Another screen, another sensor, another way to make work safer, faster, and a bit less frustrating. Not magical, useful. Thanks for spending time on this with me. If you found this useful, a like and subscribe helps us keep making these videos.